We always like to be respectful when possible. Always start and finish everything with respect. Thank you very much. Okay, let's get warmed up first. Shake your arms out a little bit. Move around too. Don't just stand in one spot and stare. We're not doing anything complicated. You don't have to see me right now. Just walk around, shake your arms out. Twist side to side a little bit. It's a wonderful day to choke someone. Choke some. No, we're not going to sing. I'm sorry. Okay, let's do some squats. Get that back straight. Turn those toes straight ahead, hands out. We're just going to squat down and then come back up. Remember, when we squat down, we lower our butt behind us. Trying to keep our back straight, keep our chin up and down. Let's do 5 more. Ready? 1, and 2, and 3, and up, 4, and up, and 5. All right, have a seat. Let's get those legs stretched out a little bit. So I want you to take your legs, put one up, one down. If it's kind of hard on your belly, you can bend your knees just a little bit. And just move them up and down. Just shake them out, up and down. Warm that belly up. Warm those legs up. Oh, yeah. Up and down. Get a couple more kicks in. All right, let's do some crunches. Get that body awake. Try to just keep that center part of your body here as our pivot points. We're crunching up in the air, breathing out through our mouth, in through our nose. All right, sit up real tall. Let's stretch those hamstrings a little bit. Toes back, legs straight, chin up. Walk your hands out. When your hands can't walk out anymore, just stay there. If you can't walk out, just stop and hold that position. If you can't, just keep walking them out. We're going to stay there for a bit. Rock side to side. Go to your left, go to your right, go to your left, go to your right. Now we bend our elbows. So you just bend your elbows, lowering yourself to the floor. And we hang out there for a little bit. So the elbows are bent. We're just hanging out nice and low. We're going to lean to the left and right again. Trying to keep our elbows down. Okay? Now watch this. I don't move my elbows. I just start to walk my fingers out. And they straighten out again. So I'm a little bit farther than before. Ready? Move a little bit left. A little bit right. Putting some stress into those legs. Getting them flexible. Okay, ready? Bend your elbows one more time. Trying to lower yourself down, keeping that chin up, keeping the back straight, trying to rotate at the hips, a little bit left, a little bit right, and then walking those fingers out one more time. Hold that position, hold, keeping those toes back, keeping your legs straight. Walk your hands back. Shake them out a little bit. Let's lean all the way to the side. So lean to the side. You can use your other hand to kind of push yourself into that leg. But keep your arm on the inside of your leg. Then go the other way. So I'm using my arm to push myself into that leg. And if I want to, I can take this hand instead. I can reach it way over the top. Makes me a little bit heavier. Gets a little bit of a side stretch. Makes it a little bit easier to stretch my leg. All right. Come back to a butterfly position. So feet together. Bounce your knees just a little bit. Kind of start out with just a little active movement. And then we're going to grab onto our shins next. We make hooks. We're going to grab onto our shins. Then we're going to take our elbows. We're going to push down on our knees. So push your knees down. Get those hips to stretch out a little bit. Going to get those legs flexible. Wrap guard a lot easier. So we're just taking those elbows and we're pushing down. Okay. Take your feet like this. Watch this. Turn onto your side. Just kind of fall on your side. Yep, just right on your side. Then pull your feet in. Take this leg here, make sure it's way back behind you. Don't let it cross over the top. Way back behind, so your foot is sitting on top of your other leg. And then try to sit up real tall. Put your hands together over on the side of you. You want to feel the top of your leg stretching. You can just trying to attack the hip a little bit. You can kind of adjust where your shoulders are until you find that good tight spot that you need to stretch better. Hang out there. Okay, we're switching, so we go up, we go the other way, so windshield wiper the opposite direction. Pull our leg way back, our foot's on top of our knee, feel the top of our leg stretching. I reach my hands out this way. Try to reach them out, sit up real tall with my head. Trying to get the top of my leg nice and loose and stretched out. Head is up, stretching that leg. So remember, Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're going to meet at 6:15 to do a jiu-jitsu class. So if you can do them live with us, that's great. If you can't make it, that's all right too. You can always watch them on rerun. All right. So now watch how this works. I'm going to turn so you can see a little bit better. I have my feet up like so. And I'm going to take my foot. I'm going to do one foot first. I'm going to go out. So I just kind of move it to the outside. And then I go up. And then I go to the inside. So I make a circle with my foot. So I'm just making a circle motion. Okay, I go the other way with my foot. Okay, now I do my other foot. I go out, up, in, and then around. I just make a circle. And I go the other way. So now, they're both going to go over and then in. So they're going to go opposite directions. So I go right foot over and in, left foot over and in. Right foot, left foot. And then you just get going faster, right? Oh, just moving fast, called egg beaters. Ready? Now the other way. So you go up and out, other foot up and out. And we just keep going. Get those hips loose. Oh, man. All right, shake them out, put them on the floor. We're going to lay flat on our back. I'm going to look over to my right. So I look to my right, I put my left hand across, so I'm pointing both hands to my right. Okay, now come back. Let's point both hands to our left. Right, now that we remember our right and left, both hands to your right. Now look behind you and try to touch as far back behind you as you can. So I have to lift my butt off the floor by using my feet. So then I reach my hands to my left, and I try to lift my butt and reach back as far as I can to tap the mat, right? So I lift and I reach across my body. So I reach all the way across and see how far back I can tap. We're just going to do this for 20 seconds. Just keep going. Go at your pace. Keep going. Lifting that body. Arching back. Looking back behind you. Look, look, look. Let's go 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Relax a little bit. All right, so the first thing I want to work on, because this is something pretty easy you can do. You don't really need a teacher in the house with you to do it. We're going to do something called grip breaks. Okay? One of the more frustrating things is when you're doing jiu-jitsu and someone just grabs a hold of you, like Mr. Anderson just grabs onto my uniform, and now he won't let go of me. So this is kind of annoying. So I want to work on how to get rid of that hand, right? Because that can start to disrupt my balance, my posture. So we're just going to sit up. Not going to get in a position first, right? So he's going to sit up like this, and he's just going to reach out and grab it. It doesn't matter if it's cross grip or same side. Right now it makes no difference which one for the first grip we're going to do. I'm going to put my hands underneath his arm, right, like a V. I'm going to go underneath his wrist, not his arm. This won't do what I need. I'm going to get underneath his wrist, and I'm going to grab onto his hand. I'm going to tuck my elbows in, lean back, and drive away from me. And then I reverse. I grab his uniform. Gets right at my wrist, right where the, okay, let go for a second, sir. So see this? Right where the hand meets the wrist. So you want to get real tight into this spot because it creates a nice little curve, makes that grip hard. So he gets it, gets his elbows in super close to his body, looks back, arches back, drives away. We're just going to go back and forth. So we're just going to do this for a minute. So we're going to get a good grip, and we just go back and forth. My elbows are in, I kind of think we're looking up, and I drive. And I'll explain why we're looking up in a second. So I grab him, we just go back and forth. Oh, man. And we're looking up. Look up and lean back. Speed. Twice in a row. Nice. And sometimes your partner's going to get a real strong grip. They're stronger than you when they grip. If he's pushing and it's not coming free, just keep driving, keep driving. Ah, man. Sometimes it'll get free. It just takes a little bit because it's your arm strength versus their finger strength, right? So I just keep driving. And I'm not only pushing, but I'm looking up, I'm leaning back, my elbows are in tight. It's hard to hold on. Okay, so now I want to look at another part of this grip, right? So if my hand is here, I have a couple fingers like into his uniform, right? So if he grips onto my uniform, we'll grab your other hand, please. So you can see he's got a bunch of fingers hanging into my uniform. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my hand over the top, so I'm pushing his hand down. See how that works? I'm pushing down on his thumb, so I'm pushing down, and then I might get a tight grip on the bottom. So I'm pushing down first, the bottom over his wrist, and now as I go, I'm going to try to tuck my arm in, I'm going to try to turn. So now when I'm pushing up, it's his thumb that's really the one that's kind of stuck there. It makes it even harder to hold on. So I do the same thing. I grip, he goes one palm down, one palm up right on the wrist. He tries to turn up and drive. Oh, and that's even harder to hold on when my pinky points at the ceiling. It's like teacup time, right? So he grips, I get over the top, and I pop that grip off. Go other way. There you go. Okay, now hold on. All right, so that's another grip break when someone's holding on to the top of you. Okay? Let's say he grips on again. This one really makes no difference, either or. So what I'm going to do is for now, when he grips with this arm, I'm going to go same side of my body. Okay, so I'm using the same side. I'm going to grip onto his sleeve. If you didn't have a uniform on, you could go onto the wrist of someone, right? But he's got a uniform or a hoodie or whatever, so I would grab my hand in there. So I'm just gripping a hold of his sleeve. I put my other arm underneath this wrist and on top of my own, right? So I grab, I go under his arm and then over, so I weave it. Okay, can everyone see that so far? So I'm gripping, going under his wrist and over my own. So I'm going to push down on my wrist and I'm going to be pushing up through his wrist. And then I punch away. And it just has a better grip. So you grab the sleeve, go under your arm, on top of it, and then pop, that wrist free. Okay, so he's gripping. I go same side. I'm going to go underneath, over, and then I push down my fingers, up with my elbow, and I pop the grip. Grip the sleeve, underneath, grab my own wrist, and I'm trying to bend his wrist upwards. I'm trying to drive my wrist through his wrist. Kind of like the Karate Kid motion, right? Little crane block. More uniform. That hurt. Oh man. Put the bone right into the wrist. Oh, trying to get delay in there. All right, one more time. Wrist, under, trap, pop the wrist. Wrist, under, trap, and then pop. So pretty simple grip break so far. So one is getting hold and pushing, adding an angle onto the turn is another option, and then popping is still another option, okay? One thing that also happens a lot of times is, let's say we're in an opener guard position, right? So I'm here, and so you can go open guard for seconds here too. So we're just sitting here, right? You're playing like this, and they grab onto your pant leg, right? So let's say it grabs onto my pant leg. We'll grab this one so they can see, right? And from here, if I try to move, he can pin my foot to the floor pretty easy because he's got a lot of leverage on my foot. So when he grabs onto my ankle like this, I'm going to make a hook. So make my hook grip, and I grab onto him. And this could be, if you don't have on your martial arts pants and you're watching this, you could just grab onto my ankle, right? So he just grabs. Maybe even makes a hook grip so I can't go around. I'm going to make a hook grip on his arm regardless how he's grabbing. And I'm going to try to, one, pull his arm to me, and 2, I'm going to try to kick my leg out. Okay, so I grab onto his pant leg, he makes a hook grip, he pulls and kicks. Be careful not to get your fingers, if you're the partner, too tied up inside the pants, because when they kick out, it just pull the finger right off, right? So sometimes if you get your hand too caught up in that uniform, your grip's going to go. Because now when I kick, this bone is straight. So my hand can't move any farther that way. So it just kind of stops his arm. And then the leg strength kicks right out of that grip. So you can just practice grabbing and then popping that grip. Right? You should make it pretty hard for the person to hold on. Just grip and you just kick. Grip and kick. Yep, there goes the thumb. It fell off. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's cross or same side. It's just gripping that pant leg, kicking out. I don't have much grips today. All right, let's look at another grip situation. Sometimes people grab onto your sleeve. Right now, one of the things you want to never do is put your fingers inside of someone's sleeve. Never put your fingers in. I'm going to show you why. Okay? So, Mr. Anderson, well, don't do it the wrong way. So he just grabs onto my sleeve normally, right? Any way you want. So he can do what's called a cliffhanger, where he's kind of hanging on it. He can also do a pistol grip where he grabs it like it's a pistol handle. Okay, whichever grip you're more comfortable, sir. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to draw a circle around his wrist. I'm just going to keep drawing a circle until it pulls the uniform out. So I just take my hand and I draw a circle. Now I grip onto his. He just goes in a circle, around and around and around, and just pops the grip that way. Okay, now, if the fingers are inside, right, so he has his hand up, and I get my hand inside of his uniform, and he starts to go around, my hand can't necessarily come out, and it's going to take my finger off. So try not to put your fingers inside of a sleeve ever, because that's very likely to happen. So when you twist around, your fingers get stuck, and you can't let go, and then it's stuck inside the uniform. So right now, we always grab on the outside, either a pistol grip, like you're holding the handle, or a cliffhanger from the outside of the gi. Okay? So just grabbing onto your wrist, and then just making circles to pop the grip. There you go. Over the wrist. Over the wrist. Just making circles. When they grab, just drawing a circle over, point to the floor, and then come around their wrist. So you're just making a circle around their wrist. As soon as they grab, just start making and just keep making circles until the hand lets go. It works wonderfully. Yeah, let me see how you guys are doing. Yep, correct. They grab, and then you just circle until they let go. Just keep drawing a circle. So if he's got a real tight grip and he's not letting go, I just keep trying to draw circles. I'm just going around his arm, making a circle so that he's got to let go. Oh. My elbow, like blocked my elbow. Just making circles up and over. Yeah, you just thumbs up, thumbs over, right? Like fawns. Hey, right? If you don't know that, that's okay. Grab you. All right, so partners, here's what we're going to do. One person's going to sit like this. Mr. Anderson's going to sit like that. I'm going to grab a hold of him. He's just going to work on breaking the grips. He doesn't want me holding on to him anymore, right? Not appreciating it. So when I grab, he breaks the grips. Boom, he can push away. Pretty simple one. He can grab my sleeve, go underneath my wrist, onto his wrist, pop it this way. If I grab here, he makes the hook. Boom. If I grab onto his sleeve, he makes a circle. And you're just going to break the grips. This way you're just used to breaking the grip so that you can win the grip battle. Because they who wins the grip battle wins. So I'm just working on holding on to him, right? He's working on just popping the grip. And we're just going to go time. So I'm going to watch the clock. We're going to do this for one person. We'll go for a minute. Then we'll do the other person for a minute. So even if you're the new person to this and you're helping someone out, spend a minute. Because it's good to have your grips broken so you can understand the importance of these things, right? Once you have someone breaking your grip, you can really understand why it is it's good to practice. Oh yeah, when I grab a little lower, it's a little harder because his uniform's got space to move. But it's so hard to hold on to him. And you might discover that when they grab lower, sometimes do the wrist one where you go underneath the wrist because that makes it hard. Because if I grab real low on his uniform and he grabs my wrist and pushes, don't go, I do it the wrong way. So he pushes my wrist away. Look at that. His uniform stretches. It takes away a lot of the power. When he goes underneath his wrist, yeah, that's just so much easier sometimes when the uniform's a little bit lower grab. I didn't even get a chance to grab him. He just reacts so fast. He's so good at this that it just makes it hard to even get a grip on him. It's like fire mode, like super turbo mode, just grabbing, ooh, yeah, it's like a bunch of crabs attacking you. Okay, time. All right, let's do the other person. So they're just going to sit and grab, and your goal is to figure out, if you get stuck, keep constant pressure, keep what you're doing, you're probably doing it right, or maybe you're doing it wrong, try a different one, right? There's multiple ways to get these things off. Oh man, let me see. Remember I looked up. Remember I will explain to you why, in a little bit, why I look up in that motion. Over, man. And sometimes you're going to get stuck where it doesn't come free. You just can't get it, right? Try another one. Oh, man, right? Try another motion. You might get it. If you don't get it the first time, try a different grip. You might be able to get it a little bit different way. Oh, man, let's see. Oh, yeah, it's a different one, isn't it? Yeah, that's a tricky one. We didn't go over that one. If you were watching closely enough, you picked it up. You might have to rewind to really figure out what I was doing. Last one. Okay, time. So we have some grip breaks. Where does this come into play? A lot of times you'll be sitting in guard with someone and you're having a hard time breaking their posture down. They have a grip of your uniform. You can't really pull them down. So that would be one time that we want to be able to do this grip break. The other part is when you're in the top part of guard and you want to get free and the person's pulling you down and you can't get the grip off you, okay? So we're going to start from the bottom view. I'll go on the bottom first and you guys can see how this works. So I got Mr. Anderson in my guard, right? And he's got his great posture. He's got his hands on my belly. Now normally if he wasn't grabbing onto my belt and he wasn't grabbing onto my uniform, he was just pushing down on me, trying to pull him with my knees, you would put your hands on the inside. So you crunch up, bring your hands up, and then pull your knees and get into a guard position. So normally speaking, if you didn't have on some clothing or something you're grabbing and the other hands and you're just pushing down, I just put my hands inside and I crunch. So I just do one of my crunches and I just pull my hands in a circle. And then I follow him down so he can't bring his hands back and then we can get a position. Okay, so normally that'd be what I do. But Mr. Anderson's good at this game, so he gets grips. He's grabbed my belt or he's grabbed my uniform and I'm trying to pull, I'm trying to get my arms in and break this grip and I just can't because his hand is holding on to something. It makes it very hard to pull him off balance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this grip here. I'm going to grab onto the sleeve. Okay? I reach underneath his wrist. I go over my own. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the grip up. And then I'm going to take both hands, keep my elbows in. I'm going to punch his arms up. Okay? So if he starts to resist, let's say he grabs my belt, right? Stiff arms me, doesn't let me pull him forward. I pop his grip. Now if he's using his other hand to stop me, I don't want to try to pull him this way. I'm going to pull him this way. Away from his other hand. Do you guys see how that works? Let's change the angle one time, sir. So, remember this arm is still holding him up. He still has a kickstand. So when I pop this grip and I try to pull across my body, this arm is stopping him. So what I do is I punch both hands this way. Now, my knees pull in, and I can start to get a hold of him, right? And then from here, we can do some sweeps if we want to do sweeps. So the drill is, for a minute straight, one person does this grip break, right? So we go here, I grab a side, I grab underneath, I pop the grip. If I can pull across my body, that's wonderful. If I try to pull across my body, stiff arm me, I pull this way. And then I grip a hold of him. So for 1 minute, let's go. So you grab, across, pop, and try to pull the person down. I'm using my knees, I'm pulling my knees to me, like an abdominal crunch from the base. So here, pop, I can't get it, I go the other way. Oh, guillotine. Right, fun stuff. We go here, I pop, I pull this way. Yes. Then I get a grip. Pop. Yes, sir. Just working on pulling them above me. He's even resist. Sometimes you resist. I'm like, oh man, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it. Oh, that grip is hard to beat. Once we stiffen the arm out, a lot of times it's hard to beat. Boom, I try to pull it across, or I pull him this way. I'm just trying to get him off balance, right? We got a couple more seconds, the other person's gonna go. Oh man, now I got a hold of him. I climb myself up. Here, pull it across. Last one. Thanks, sir. So now we swap jobs. Other person for a minute. Like I said, it's great to be on both sides of this because then you understand the importance of wanting to learn it. When someone does it to you and you feel its effectiveness, then it makes more sense. Yep, grab on. I'll just drag you. Okay. So I'm grabbing his belt. I'm just holding myself. So if he tries to just yank me down, I ain't going nowhere. I'm just standing right here, right? And normally if I had my hands, if I was kind of pushing on him, he would swim through, guarding. This way I can't strike, right? Okay, so now I got a grip, so he's got to practice this grip break. So ready for a minute. Underneath, grab the wrist, pop, and pull him forward. If your partner's really struggling, start to make it easy. Talk to him, explain to him what's going on. Right? Say, hey, I don't feel it in my wrist. Or, that really hurts. You're doing a good job. Like Mr. Anderson's doing. I don't even want to hold on anymore. I just want to let him take my grip off. Right, when he pops it this time, I'm going to resist. I'm going to stick my hand in his belly and hold myself up. And he just pulls it off. Start to attack. Just push him. He's just going to find one way or another. Pull me down. Doesn't let me post up. Punch him in the face. That's just hard. It's hard to resist. Get my sword grip. Yeah, I didn't have an arm that way. When I say sword grip, I'm holding his uniform like it's a sword. I'm just holding his uniform like a sword, right? Makes it a little bit better for my wrist, a little harder for him to attack my wrist. Man, does that make it hard to hold on? Five seconds. Come on, get it a couple more times. Pop and pull. Pop and pull. One more time. Got time. Push. Oh, man. Just broke it right off. Okay. So that would be a purpose from the bottom of guard for breaking that grip, using that cross wrist grab, right? Grab, pop underneath, and break that grip. Another situation might be if I'm on top and I'm trying to get that grip break. Now, let me say something. When you're on the top part of guard, you don't need to look down. If you were doing jiu-jitsu, or Brazilian jiu-jitsu, there's no punching and striking. You don't have to look for the hand strikes coming in. All they're trying to do is break your posture. So if Mr. Anderson puts me in guard, he's trying, either with his grips, right, or his stance, to pull me down so he can start to get down and attack. I need to keep my posture up. So if he's grabbing onto my uniform and trying to pull down, I want to look up. And I want to look back behind me, right? I'm trying to look up. I don't need to look down. I don't need to see. I see what it is, right? With my hands, I can feel the pressure. So if I'm going to start to break this grip, I want to be looking up and going here. Because if he's pulling down now, it's hard for him to pull because I'm driving my knees in. I'm looking up. It gives me a chance to start to break those grips, right? I can start to pop that. Okay, so he's grabbing on. Right, we're here. I'm going to grip. I can break that grip. Same position. Now, if he doesn't have a gi on, I can't grab onto his sleeve. So I just grab his wrist. I grab my own and I drive. So he's gripping. I'm getting my posture. Right, I'm here. I'm popping that grip. Oh, man. I'm looking at the ceiling. His job when he pulls is to pull me down, start to work me down like a ladder, just step up. Yeah. And he's trying to get me all the way down. I'm not letting it happen. So as he grips, we're breaking that grip. Right? I'm looking up. Let go. Right? Tell him, no. Do not want to go down there. Keep going. One person's going for the whole time. Yeah, no, we're just watching the video. We're not entertainers. I think some people probably just got started. I think they were just watching, so we got to go longer. Oh, man. Nope, no striking allowed in jiu-jitsu. Yeah, I grab low. I know that trick. You can see what he's doing. He's kind of smart. So he's grabbing low, so I can't reach up. So all I'm doing is I'm grabbing his wrist and I'm pushing down, and then I'm just taking the uniform out of his hand, right? So if you have a person, it's a good point, Mr. Anderson, if he grabs low, I want to trap his hand down. So I just put weight into his wrist so he can't follow. Because if I go like this, he'll just follow my uniform, right? Or it'll be a tug of war. So I want to trap him. So I just push down on his wrist, and then I pull the uniform out. Yeah, it's not very fun to hold on to it. So I just trap down, and I pull my uniform out of his hand. Oh, man. Right? I can just yank it out. I can grab from the tail side, which is this side. It makes it even harder. So hold on as tight as you can. And just peel it out of his hand by holding him down. Yeah. Oh, man. All right, 5 seconds. Let's go. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Time. All right, so we're going to swap. And you can start to apply the same ones we did on the legs, where you make a hook and you kick it out. So we can start to really take these concepts and play them. And the goal is you just got to play them. Just got to have someone grab you a ton of times. All right, so I start gripping for a minute straight. He's breaking out. He's keeping his posture up. I'm trying to like pull him down, pull my knees. Ah, man. If I grab him low, he just wants to push my hand down with his left, drive down with his left hand, and then start to, yikes. Yank that uniform out. Oh, I lost a fingernail, I think. I lost it. Ow, it's gone. Oh. He likes that one. I think we found a new favorite grip break. If I'm grabbing his wrist, watch what he does. He just circles, and he just goes, right back into 2-on-1 action. So it's hard to get him, because if I grab one, he just breaks this grip, and then he attacks the second one. If you know how to play volleyball, when someone like I'm climbing up, if he breaks the grip, he immediately just hits me like a volleyball, just set. Boom, no, not a punch, he shoves me down. So he just starts to push. Yeah, just push him back down. So if I keep trying to come up, he can just keep pushing me down, and that's a lot of ab workout to try to climb up someone who's just pushing you back into the mat. It makes it not as much fun as I always kind of thought it would be to climb someone. Time. So those are some pretty simple grip breaks, right? So I mean, it's not that hard. You can actually get free, and if you've done a good amount of rolling in the past, you'll understand how important that grip break battle is to be able to be the person who's holding on. So because it's a lot more fun to choke people, let's do a choke today. Is everyone cool with that? If we do a choke, right? I'm assuming I got a thumbs up. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do this cross grip, okay? And then we're going to use that for a choke. So I'll have Mr. Anderson jump back to my guard. And what's going to happen now is I have my guard, I have his hands on my belt. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cross hand. I'm reaching across my body, and I'm going to pop this grip. So I'm going to pop, and I'm going to start to punch. Now I'm going to grab onto the collar nice and high, and I'm going to start to punch his hand up and pull down on his collar this way. So I punch down like this. Okay, so you get to grip. I'm going to grab across. So grabbing across the body, not grabbing same side, I'm grabbing across. I come under, I pop the grip, I reach up across, and I start to pull down. I'm trying to extend this hand out. I want to punch this one out because I want to be trapped in this position. So if we just work that, so he grips, I grab across, I pop that grip, both hands come across my body, and then I reach up and try and get a grip inside of his shirt. And I'm just trying to pull down. So if he sits up tall, I'm just pulling down and I'm punching his hand up. It just makes it really hard for him to resist. So I go here and I start to work on getting that collar here. I could go pull him down and get a grip here if I couldn't get my hand into his collar. But for right now, pretty cooperative people, this will make it a little bit easier to learn. So I'm inside of his collar. Okay, so he gets a grip, cross wrist grab, pop, push, reach in, pull, and I'm just locking this arm out. So if he tries to use it, it's very hard to use. If I let him have it bent, he can start to turn it around, yank his arm free. Okay, so let's swap jobs. Get him back up so we stay always in the camera. All right, so he's got his guard, right? So now what happens, I have my hands down, he goes cross wrist, underneath the wrist, pops the grip, punches it across. Now, so what happens, his right hand's grabbing my right hand. He takes his other hand, reaches into my collar, and he's going to pull down. He's firing his arm into this arm. He's pushing it. He's driving this hand away from me, so it's straight. Makes it hard to get back up. So he goes cross wrist grab, reaches underneath, pops it, punch it across my body. Reaches up, grabs inside the collar, pulls down. Oh, man. And working that grip. Pop, cross, inside the neck. Oh, man. Cross grip, underneath, pop, reach it across the body, and then reach in and hold that collar. And like I said, if you can't get your fingers in, you could just grab palm down on what we call the wrinkle. You could grab back here on the wrinkle. So he's going to get the grip, he's going to pop, pulls it across, switches to his cross grip right inside the neck. Go one more time. So cross wrist, bang, pops the grip. He's pulling it across, and he's grabbing in. Okay, let's switch it up. And here's where we have the choke. So again, at any point we're ever doing chokes, and you feel like you get lightheaded or you're choking or anything, tap on your partner. Partners just let go of them, right? So I got him my guard. I got one of his grips, so I'm going to go here so you can see what's happening. So I get this grip here where I would break it. I get my hand inside his collar, and I'm going to start to shrimp out. So I put this foot down, and I shrimp out to the side. So instead of being flat underneath them, I'm going to put my foot down and shrimp out. Now I can grab on. Right, I have this hand underneath. Now, I take this left hand, I tap his back, like good job being a bully buddy, and then I push on his neck. It's like a karate chop. Don't actually karate chop partners, by the way. But it's like a karate chop motion. I'm pushing. And this hand just pulls that collar out. So if I have someone with pretty good grips, right, we go here, just break the grip, I reach up and grab, put my hand here, I just chop, and I pull. If this was a self-defense situation, you're in danger, you could be striking, right? So I pop, I grab here, I pull down, I shrimp out to an angle, I re-grip some on the side of him. Now from here, we just need to push into that neck and pull the other hand out. You want to see that? I'll do the opposite way so you can see what's going on. So I get this grip here, I pop this collar, right? I go here, I start to climb up, I cut down, and I push up. It makes it more effective. If I just cut down here, bend his elbow, right, it's not really affecting him. When I punch and I cut down, it makes the effect. Outside foot, shrimp, to here, chop. So I'm chopping his neck. Everyone see this hand over here? This hand is holding the collar and just pulling like we're starting a lawnmower. That creates an awesome little choke. All right, one more time, and then Mr. Anderson can put me to sleep because it's about bedtime. So I pop the grip. I'm holding it here across. He's fighting me. He's doing whatever. I reach up and I grab that. I drive and I shrimp my hip out. Re-grip. Come over here. He's fighting. He's doing his want, but his arm's kind of trapped. It's not easy for him to get out. I just get a hold and I just say night-night. All right, so let's reverse jobs. Let the other person choke you. Be very careful at any point when someone taps, you instantly stop. Whether we believe we're doing it right or wrong, we do not hold past that point. So he gets the cross grab, pops the wrist, brings it across my body. Now he feeds into that collar. He's going to push my arm up and drive down on my other arm. It brings me down. He uses his outside foot to shrimp his hips out. Oh man, I don't like this position. Regrips his feet. and then he karate chops with his right hand on my neck, and I like to tap a lot because that way I make sure my partner knows I tapped. I don't want to go and hope they heard it. All right, ready? He grabs the wrist, pops it, across the body, collar, pulls down and works, so this hand goes up. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but he's lifting this arm up and across. By pushing this arm up and across, it gives him something to drive down against with his other arm. So he shrimps out to the side. Now he's got a real tight grip. He's got his ankles crossed. This one is stuck. It's real hard for me to get out of here. Puts his hand on my neck, karate chop, and pull. Man, I don't think I like that Mr. Anderson's good at this because I like to roll with Mr. Anderson. So he gets a grip, pops it, he pulls it across, starts to get into the arm. He's fighting me when I'm resisting. Hits. Oh yeah, he hipped out real fast. And then he gets that neck. And then he chokes. Let's do it slow one more time. Okay, so ready? Get the wrist. Let's have everyone do the same side we're doing. Okay, so Mr. Anderson's left hand is grabbing onto my left hand. So, yep, that's my left. Okay, he pops it, and he's going to shoot it to his left. So it's across his body. Now he takes his right hand and goes into my collar. So his right hand is into my collar. He drives my hand across and pulls down. Right? Then he steps his right foot on the floor, shrimps his hip out, and then wraps his legs. Now he puts his hand on the side of my neck, karate chops with his left hand, and then he puts me to sleep. Hopefully I tap first, right? All right, let's do it 2 more times. We're going to go slow the first time, and then we'll go full speed second time. So he grips, looks like it's his right hand grabbing, he pops it, drives it to his right, takes his left hand, puts it inside my collar, takes his left foot on the floor and shrimps his hips out, regrips his legs, puts his right hand on my neck, and pulls. Wow. Loving it, right? Choked by friends. Okay, ready? One more time. So he gets that grip, pops it, starts to fight a little bit. Oh man, he's strong. Trying to get away. Awesome. Man, that's a fun one. It's a lot more fun to do it, by the way, than it is to be choked by it. So, grip break battles, right? It's a good idea to practice because you could run into a situation where, let's say we're standing, right? We're doing, real life jiu-jitsu, where I'm at a store and someone grabs onto me, right? And instead of like wind up and hitting them, I can pop and pop. I know how to get free from grips, right? So you could use this just like your martial arts stuff, just like your jiu-jitsu stuff, but in real life, because you could be at a store where someone grabs onto your shirt and they're pulling you, they're pushing you around, right? And go, man, okay, pop, I have it. Now I can decide, do I hit him? Now that I broke the grip, do I run free? These are the kind of things that can happen in real life where somebody has a hold of you. Maybe you just grab it onto my wrist, right? And, this doesn't work. And I try to do this one. Maybe that one doesn't work, right? Try to elbow his arm. But if I just kind of go around, maybe that one works. So it's great to have additional information because you could apply these things just like anything else, right? The nice thing is a lot of times you practice for a sport in class because it's fun, less lethal. But these things do work. So grip breaks, work grip breaks. And literally just like we did today, go for a minute straight, do it. Have someone do it back to you. When someone does it back to you, it's so much more effective. You can feel the part of your hand. Your partner might rotate your hand the right way and you go, wow, okay, that's what I was missing. So have people do these things back because when you feel it, it really drills in the effectiveness. Or you can definitely feel when something's wrong. You go, okay, I can get out of this. Let me do it myself and see if I can do it, not you get out that way. Okay, cool? All right, so practice, but one side note, if you're choking each other, you can accidentally have someone pass out on you because if your partner's not knowledgeable enough to tap out and be smart and say, I've had too much, I'm losing circulation, you could knock your partner out with this. So be very, very careful. When you're doing chokes, I suggest if you're not an adult, let mom and dad know you're doing it. Make sure someone's supervising it, right? And always train your partners on what tapping means and when to do it. And then be very conscious because if you knock someone out, you could start to cause some brain damage or even worse stuff could happen, okay? So be very careful with chokes. It's not something to play with. It's something that we train, but usually we do it when we're being supervised or have instruction. Cool? Okay. Let's thank Mr. Anderson for obviously choking the snot out of me. I didn't think any snot came out because it's the corona thing. I don't know. They don't want to get corona snot on them, cool? And I actually kept that inside. Okay, change position, we go back straight, we point our fingers, we curl our thumbs, have a good tall, and bow. We do high fives, so come through the high five train, right? High five, turn, high five, something.